Okay, this next video segment is going to talk about a set of assignments that are linked together. This is called the client case study. This is one of the last things you'll turn in this semester, kind of the final project culminating everything that you do as a group this semester into a case study assignment. The first thing I recommend you doing is looking under the assignments. There's a reading assignment. While I have it due December 7th, this is something that you'll want to get started on earlier, and I'll talk to your project managers on making sure that this assignment gets done. But you'll want to read this document called Case Study. It's a phenomenal document that's going to not only walk you through how to write a case study, but it's actually a guide on preparing and designing an effective case study. And so I have a reading assignment for this document and a quiz tied to this document. So the reading assignment is here. There's a quiz. There's no password. So as soon as you read this case study, you go and take the quiz and you can then get points for the reading. The case study isn't too long. Like I said, it's more of a guide than anything else, and it ought to be a reference tool that you use as a group as you put together your case studies. So in this case, we're talking about a challenge, a solution, and a result, okay? I'll tell you a little bit about some of the aspects of a case study that I want to see, but here you can see the guide, and there's even worksheets at the end to basically help you outline and prepare it. So the first thing you'll do is go ahead and do that reading, take that reading quiz, and then there's a group project called the Case Study Final Project. This is where your group will actually design and publish a case study. For examples of how to write a case study or publish a good-looking case study, you can actually go to contentiskinguvu.com, go to our portfolio. It's a link I can show you back here. There's actually a link right here called portfolio. You can actually click on this portfolio and see examples of past students. These are actually case studies of projects just like yours. So you could click on any one of these and get a little bit of an example of what we're looking for. This is a Relate, so they branded it Relate Institute case study about their project. So a little bit about Relate, what was the challenge, what's the solution, and what were the results. Remember, case studies are designed specifically to be as numerical or factual as they can. So the best way, when you talk about what is your challenge the client had this semester, go look at your deliverable. And the deliverable set that you had will help you kind of see what the challenges they've had. Obviously, the solution are the deliverable set that you proposed for that challenge. And then the results is the work that you did this semester, tying the best that you can to some sort of numerical value. I know not all projects have numerical values, but remember, in marketing, we have to find a way to measure what we do. This is a great way of putting that to practice and getting you to write a case study. I have you do this assignment for many reasons. Clearly, one of them is to showcase the work that our students do throughout the semesters. But I actually have you do this because in marketing, you will write case studies. As I have most of my assignments tied to things that you will do in your marketing career. It's funny, I'm giving you this assignment this week because just this week I'm consulting for a company and they've asked me to talk to their customers and write up case studies for them. So I'm going to do very much the same work that you're doing, and that is branding and writing and developing some case studies to help the company use in their sales collateral and in their marketing funnel. So there's lots of good examples here on the website of previous case studies written by students. If you need design ideas, go look up case study and do a Google Images search, and there'll be case study example, case study template. Do Google searches of that nature, and you'll see a lot of examples out on the web. Now let's go back to the final project assignment and just make sure you hit the key points. Okay, your group needs to create a case study about this project. You've got a reading and a guide that will help you. Again, I'm looking for the challenge, solution, and result. Some helpful hints. You need to design this, okay? And so I expect and I require that it be designed in something other than Microsoft Word. I have actually secured a pro version of Canva. For those of you that use Canva and would like to use my account, reach out to me. And I know the pro version has some additional functionality, features, templates, content. So I just did that this semester for my students. So if you'd like, I'm happy to give you that login, and you're welcome to create a project on Canva. If you know how to use InDesign or Illustrator or Photoshop, I strongly urge you to do it, design it in those tools, and leverage that skill set. But do not design it in Microsoft Word. These need to be designed well, make it look good, as is the rule in our marketing. And now a couple of other important things. In this case, I'm expecting you to get a testimonial from your client. It is heavily, heavily, heavily recommended. The way to get a testimonial from your client on time is to actually draft up 2 or 3 versions of a testimonial and send them to your client. I can't. I'm not going to force you to do that, but I'm going to say as close as I can to require you to do that. And I'd like you to make sure you CC your communication director. Make sure you CC me on those requests for testimonials so I can make sure your clients get back to you. If you ask your client to do a testimonial and you don't give them the drafts or templates, I can almost guarantee you they will not get them back in a timely manner, and you will miss out on a large part of your assignment. You need to get these testimonials approved, and so that your client will use them. So give them 2 or 3 options. Ask him or her to say, hey, will you approve one of these, or make a few edits or tweaks to approve one of these, and can you get it back to me on such and such date? So give them enough time to approve, review, and respond. Okay. Make sure you have your client information on the study, so the company and who you did it for. Make sure you make it creative, flow, and look good, of course. Okay. Expectations: you will have a well-drafted case study, 1 to 2 pages. If you think about 2 pages, it's front and back. That's what most case studies are. That's what it usually takes. You will have a testimonial from the client. Your client will approve your final draft, so keep that in part of your project planning, is that you will have to get their approval, because this is something we will publish, and I need to have them approve it through an email chain, so make sure I get CC'd on that. Your final copy will be in PDF. It will look good. It'll be professional. And you'll also need to provide the original format, as we call the native files that you created it in. If you created it in Canva, then I need you to give your best way of giving me that design template or that project or whatever you can. If you've designed in Illustrator or Adobe, be sure to give me the native files that you've designed it in as part of your submission. So a final copy as well as your native files is expected for this case study final project that your group will do. Again, important to remember that while I have due dates of December 7th, and then the case study final project is the last day to turn anything in on December 13th, but I strongly recommend you don't wait for that last week to get this done, as you will need pieces from your client, you will need approval, so you'll want to start this early. And again, I will reiterate that in some communication and email to the class and to the project managers, but this is something that you should be working on and getting prepared as part of your group project. In terms of the quiz, just so you know, the quiz is not meant to be punitive. So while you can miss points, this should be a fairly easy quiz. If you'll look over the general key points of writing a case study, you should do just fine on this quiz. So with that, if there's any questions, just let me know. Again, Content is King, uvu.com, to the portfolio page, where you can look at plenty of examples to see what the expectations are for a quality case study this semester.